This meeting of the City Council will now come to order, and the chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Avery.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present. Our meeting is open for business, and I'm going to ask Councilman Harris if he would lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your mercy and your kindness and the goodness that you show to us. We ask that you would be with us as we go through these proceedings and lead us and guide us and make sure that every decision that we make will be pleasing to you. As we're in these tornadic season, please be mindful of the fact that there are people being hurt, and we ask that you would protect them, put your loving arms around them, and lead them to the next day. Be with us, lead us, and guide us, and we'll continue to give you all the praise and all the glory. These blessings we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and city council meeting held on April the 22nd.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of the accounts for the week of April the 18th through the 24th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor.
See, I have two today, Tina Heron and is it Blythe Johnson? They here? Whereas Alabama's climate and scenery make motorcycle riding an attraction in the beautiful state of Alabama, and riders consider our roadways to be some of the best riding around. Motorcycles are increasingly used as a regular means of transportation. Motorcycle is an energy-efficient vehicle that reduces fuel consumption, traffic, and parking congestion. The motorcycle is an important form of transportation for commuting, touring, and recreation. As a matter of safety, it is necessary to develop appropriate driving habits to handle these vehicles on Alabama's roadways. To prevent injuries and deaths on Alabama roadways, motorcyclists and motorists must be vigilant in their efforts to share the road and ensure safety to everyone. Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month raises public awareness for a lifetime of safe motorcycle riding. The International Women's Motorcycle Club, Leather and Lace, MC, is committed to increasing the safe operation of motorcycles by promoting rider safety education programs. Their goal is to alert the motorists of the town of Gadsden, Alabama, to share the road. Motorcycle Safety Month is designated to increase public awareness about motorcycles and to encourage their safe and proper use among motorcycle riders. Therefore, I, Sherman Guyton, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, in the great state of Alabama, in recognition of over 103,588 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role of Leather and Lace as a promoter of motorcycle safety education and awareness, to hereby proclaim the month of May 2014 as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month in the City of Gadsden. So there's no one here for this? All right. And Miss Carol Larkins, the music. Y'all coming up? No. Each photo. Okay. Music plays an increasingly important role in our world today. Music is one of the most sublime human pursuits and is subscribed by all races and creeds. Music is the language of all peoples and one of the greatest forces in creating peace and harmony. The National Federation of Music Clubs, dedicated to encouraging young musicians to increasing musical knowledge and to advancing American music, and its cooperating organizations join forces to direct attention to the dynamic influence of music in everyday living. The National Music Week theme 2014 is Music, the Dance of Life. Therefore, I, Sherman Guyton, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 4th through the 11th, 2014 as National Music Week in Gadsden, and ask that all citizens of this community to observe and take part in the activities, recognizing the importance of music, musicians, and musical organizations to the culture life of our city, state, nation, and world. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, sir. Well, I really appreciate, I'm Carol Larkins, I'm the president of the Gadsden Music Club, and I appreciate the honor of accepting this proclamation from the mayor and also from the city council people, men and women, if there is any. And also, it is with gratitude that I appreciate all of the help that they have given to our children of Gadsden and Etowah County. We do thank you for all of your sincere and appreciated help in keeping music in schools. Thank you once again. Thank you. There we go. Thank you very much.
Could have moved it just a little. Election year.
Okay.
What's the name of this lady's name?
We have two unfinished business, and a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1175 Tuscaloosa Avenue in District 3. The last known owners is Margaret W. Milner. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on March 26. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, based on the recommendation from the Building Department, we're going to ask for an additional 30-day table.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
B is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at number 8 Lakefront Avenue in District 6. The last known owners are the state of Alabama, Chadwick Quinn, Leon Quinn, and Kimberly Dawn Quinn. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on March the 25th. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, on recommendation of the Building Department, I'd ask for a 30-day extension on this today. We have a buyer who's trying to buy this piece of property from the state of Alabama. He's having trouble getting the state of Alabama to send him a letter and tell him how much the taxes are. So I'd ask for a 30-day extension, please.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Number 9, this is a time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 903 Spring Street in District 3. The last known owners are the state of Alabama, Catherine Lovelace. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. This case involves a burned house. We started our process in January of 2012. There have been no improvements to the property. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of it? Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Now, that's a burnt house that's been sitting there for quite, was it anything ever tied up in insurance or something? I know there was a,
We were initially.
that's what I was thinking, if I remember correctly, but we can now get rid of it. The neighbors have been complaining, but they need to understand that sometimes we do have these legal problems with property when there's a fire with investigations and everything else and insurance, but at least now we're going to be able to get this one down.
Our next public
Vote.
vote,
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
our next public hearing are for resolutions assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. This is for demolition that has already been performed. And we have two locations. I'm going to read the addresses and names of anyone who wishes to speak about either of these may come forward. 10 is 607 Sizemore Street in District 1, $2,841.20. State of Alabama, Lovely, Stewart, Annie Lee, and Internal Revenue Service. Now, 11 is 1005 Lancaster Avenue in District 2, 271314. State of Alabama, Eddie Harris, Clifford, and Virginia Barfield. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to either of these resolutions? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of it? Chair will entertain a motion to adopt both resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
That's $5,000 or more we won't recoup.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt both resolutions, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt both.
12 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 for extension of pipe for Mary Lou Circle Culvert Replacement Project. This is to reflect a deduction of $14,976 for guardrails and end anchors, and addition of $3,450 for extending the pipe. The adjusted amount contract amount is $37,899.40. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Would you like to comment on this, Mr.?
No, I just think it's really good every once in a while when you save money, and we saved $11,526, which was admirable, I thought.
Are you going to give him credit for it?
I think he gets a little embarrassed when I just keep on pushing it on him, you know, but our engineer, Chad Hare, of course, was responsible for this.
Mighty fine engineer.
Thank you, Chad.
Now,
Think
y'all
about
make
him,
some
Mr. Hare.
comments. Yeah.
He's a lot
Well,
He's a lot smarter than he looks.
well,
We were going to give him a raise for it, but since he played so bad in that golf tournament yesterday on our team, I'm teasing.
Don't take a bow.
Pick on Chad.
It's a good sport.
Don't throw him back.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
13 is a resolution authorizing application with Alabama Department of Transportation. This is for a permit to construct a turnout to provide access to the intersection of Million Boulevard and 6th Street North in East Gadsden. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
so moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
This is for the new development that's going on over in East Gadsden.
Any other? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
14 is a resolution authorizing application and agreement between the city and Alabama Department of Transportation. This is for grading and landscaping on the right-of-way at the intersection of Milligan Boulevard and 6th Street North. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Chad, why don't you tell, maybe some of the public would like to know what that,
Yes, sir. This is for the work that's going to be performed on the Department of Transportation's right-of-way along Meagan Boulevard. We're extending 6th Street to the easternmost entranceway into the development. This is the same road, same intersection that you would have gone to the clubhouse of River Trace Golf Course before. But we're extending a road. It's approximately 600 to 700 feet, and I think it'll be a big benefit to the development.
is there any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
First reading ordinance amending fiscal year budget 2014 budget. This is to reflect the receipt and appropriation of the Condiment of Care grant. The amount is $9,000. This ordinance was presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. New business, is there any new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution that I would like to ask for unanimous consent to consider today. It's a resolution authorizing the application for 2014 Transportation Alternative Programs Grant Funding.
Second.
Sure.
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, I'll let our able engineer explain this application process and what this application, what the grant is for.
Yes, sir. This is for handicap accessible ramps really throughout the city of Gadsden. This is not in a particular district. These are existing ramps that are not up to code, and as a part of our U.S. Department of Justice agreement that the city entered into, we will continue to get those up to code. Every time that we resurface a road or do any kind of improvement, we are required to do such. What this grant will allow us to do is get 80 cents on the dollar if we are approved. So we'll give it a shot.
Did we apply for this grant last year and didn't get it?
Yes, sir, that's correct. There's been a few of those ramps, like Forest Avenue from 7th to 12th with that resurfacing, that we have taken those off the list and added some others, but it's the same amount, just a few in different locations.
How many wheelchair ramps have we done, like handicap ramps have we done, Chad, on these new roads? Can you
It's well over 100, Councilman. I don't know exactly the amount, but I could get that for you.
I was thinking we did pretty big amount of them trying
Yes,
to
sir.
catch up.
Yes, sir.
Chad, I may be wrong, but we were about 15 years behind on doing them. Is that correct? Something like
Probably
that?
further than that, but go ahead.
Probably.
Yeah.
When you pave one, a road, you're supposed to put them in, and
Right.
we've been doing them for quite a few years, to try to catch up.
It wasn't like they were hiding that fact. It was pretty well known.
If we get this grant, the monies that we are using for what will be, and then, okay, let me rephrase that, Chad. If we get the grant money, that will give us more money for what?
Right now, it's being covered under our paving. So when we resurface a street, we have to do it, so it's a part of that contract. So theoretically, we'll be able to pave more roads.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm looking for.
Any other? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Department reports, committee boards, are there any? Citizens' requests, Glenn Ingram, Gadsden Runners Club. Please state your name and address for the
Good
city
morning.
clerk.
My name's Glenn Ingram. I'm with Gadsden Runners Club. My address is 207 English Lane in Rainbow City. I'm here representing the Gadsden Runners Club this morning to talk about our spring trail run, which is this Saturday, just to inform the council, but mostly to thank them for all the time and effort and investment that's been made at the Nakalula Park. There's been a lot of improvements made over the past year and a half, both with trails and facilities, and we're trying to use that to try to move forward with the project that you started. We'll have over 200 people there this Saturday morning. That's both participants, volunteers, and vendors in an event. We have a 5.7-mile run, and I wanted to thank the council not only for the facilities, but they supplied building materials that we used to build a small footbridge, and also the Etowah County Sheriff's Department supplied volunteers to help pick up trash that was along Black Creek. What we've done in the past year is we've doubled the number of people we had at this same event last year. I can see where we can continually grow this event exponentially. Our goal is to help improve, maintain, and build further on what you started. This year we're going to have runners from not only Northeast Alabama, but we have a few from coming as far as Tennessee. Last year's race enabled us to contribute to the Cascades Loop that's already been built. This year's race, we've already paid forward by building another addition on what we're calling the Black Creek Bend part of the trail. And that we hope that we can continue moving this forward with enough revenue raised this weekend to help on future events. The 5.6-mile trail run this Saturday is going to showcase not only the park, the falls, but the campgrounds, the new bike trails, the new running trails, and Black Creek itself. Everybody who's entered this year is going to receive a really nice T-shirt. We're going to have medals for all age groups in 5-year increments on first through third, and then we'll have overall first through third for both men and women. We're a nonprofit. We're using local businesses, partnering with them to stage this event. Some of our events or sponsor events this year are Southern Bank, Etowah Pediatrics, Gadsden Outfitters, Cayuga Water, Performance Chiropractic, Heinzman and Davis Accounting Firm, Copeland Law Firm, Northeast Alabama Mountain Bikers Association, the YMCA, Sheriff Todd Entrican, and local radio stations Z93 and Wax 570. We hope that we can continue to grow from this event this week and make something even bigger this time next year. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to continued support to grow this project. And I wanted to leave myself available for any questions you may have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I know Ed proud that the trail is being used up there. So that's the guy you need to talk with right there. Thank him for the trail.
Okay. Remarks by the mayor and the council. Who wants to start? I think, Billy, you ought to start today.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. President. Just want to caution everybody ask everybody to take every precaution that you can with the threat of bad weather again today. Just use those items that you have at home to protect yourself, in the event that we do have bad weather, and be mindful of those persons who have been affected in a negative way by the weathers that we have had yesterday, and of course, which we are anticipating having more tonight.
So just be careful and protect yourself, and be here for our next meeting. That's all I have, Mr. President. Being to talk about the Patriots golf tournament yesterday.
Absolutely.
Ben, go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'd like to thank everybody for their participation, whether you sponsored or whether you played in the Gadsden Etowah Patriots Association golf tournament yesterday. It was a high success, right? It really was. We had a real good time, but we raised some money for the Patriots Association, for the Old Lee Mize Park at Knockaloo Falls, the new museum, flags on Albert Rains at all our facilities, Macon Boulevard. Just look around, 4th of July, Memorial Day, so on and so forth. You see what your money and your contributions go to in the Gadsden Etowah Patriots Association. I would like to say we should announce the winners of the golf tournament yesterday. Not only no, I won't go into the longest drive, but anyway, I won't. I absolutely will not.
Please do.
But I can't go into that. I'm sorry. I've been pledged to a secret. He said 2 seats from me, but I'm not going to say anything about that. Our winner yesterday was, the foursome, was Mike Hilton, Frankie Leith, Opie Teague, and Alan Smedley. Billy, they were 16 under par.
They had a sharp, all I can say about those guys, they had a sharp pencil. That's all.
All I can say is, and Heather New was so proud, for the second year in a row, she came in last. Yeah.
Proud as ever.
Yeah, and our team, our illustrious team, came, we ate, and Billy Yates bugged me from the time we started till we get to the clubhouse, when are we going to eat a hamburger? That's all he had in mind. Yep, he wasn't playing golf. But anyway, we all had a good time. It goes for a good cause, and that's it. I do have an announcement I was asked to make. It's on Gadsden Cleanup Week. Were you going to touch on that, Mayor, or you want to go ahead? All right, it's going to be May the 5th to May the 9th of this year. The Great American Cleanup. Trash bags will be provided, Robert. To volunteer your church, neighborhood watch group, or association, contact Save Our Neighborhoods for details and get the telephone number down. It's 256-549-4794, and they'll tell you how you can get in there and be a part of this. There are no hazardous materials, household garbage, electronics, tires, furniture, and so on. I don't know where they take those, I guess, down south, past the casinos somewhere.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. And all children are to be accompanied by a parent. Billy?
Yes, I'll make sure.
Yes, I think it's very important. This is a good thing that's going on, to clean Gadsden up, May the 5th through the 9th. And once again, contact her at 256-549-4794, Marvis Carter, Neighborhood Watch. Okay? That's all I have, sir.
David?
Thank you, Mr. President. Did want to take the opportunity to piggyback on the comments that were made about the run that's scheduled for this week, and just to make people aware and make people know that the trail is available for our youth programs and a lot of the summer programs that exist in the city. So please utilize it for its health benefits, for its social benefits, and just because it's a good thing for the city. So please be sure that we encourage our youth programs. There's a huge health benefit to the exercise that can be gained, and the exercise activity that can be gained by utilizing those trails. So Mr. Wiley's done Ed's done a lot of work in terms of helping drive that activity, and the city's put a lot of effort and money into that. So please, let's encourage our church groups, our senior groups, our youth programs to go out and utilize those trails. And just to echo the sentiment regarding the severe weather, we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to those who were impacted by the severe weather on last night. That's, we all too often are caused to have to encounter severe weather here in the southeast, in particular in Alabama. So please keep those families in your prayers, and also if you have elderly family members who live alone, let's make sure we look out for them in particular today or this afternoon as the severe weather comes through this area once again. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Johnny?
Thank you, Mr. President. We met this morning, I think we started at 9 o'clock this morning, had a meeting at 9, we had one at 9:30, quarter to 10. We had one at 10 o'clock, pre-council started. Last week I announced when city elections was. To qualify, date for city elections is July the 1st, and if I ever, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't it run through the 15th of July?
Yes.
Through the 15th of July. City elections is August the 26th. I challenged everybody that was going to run last week to come to city council meetings and decide if you want to run, see what you're going to run for, whether it be council or mayor. And I didn't see any of those guys here this morning in all those early meetings. I don't know what happened. There was maybe some at the 10 o'clock, but there wasn't at the early meeting. Being on the city council doesn't mean coming at 10 o'clock and leaving at 12. It's a full-time job. You need to be prepared to go to all kind of meetings you got to go to. You need to learn about the city, and I don't see how in the world you can run for an office if you don't know what the office is all about. I challenge you once again, we won't meet next Tuesday. We'll be out of town in Mobile next Tuesday, but we'll meet the following Tuesday. So put that on your agenda if you're going to run for any races up here, city council, mayor, whatever it be. Come and get involved and see what's going on, how your city runs. Ask any of these guys up here, I know they'll be glad to tell you anything about what the city council or the mayor's office does. They'll be glad to talk with you about it. I'm going to say this probably every week up until the election, I guess.
Tell them about the pay.
Yeah, I will, Robert, about that. I was cornered this last week from a gentleman. He told me that all we did was come up here on Tuesday and we made $50,000 a year. I told him that my
Somebody shorten me.
for the last 8 years, I'd like to have my money that they owed me. And I told him what city council paid, and he kind of frowned, and he said, there's not nobody going to do that. And I said, if you love your district, you love your community, you're going to do whatever you want to help that community, and that's the way I feel. If you're going to run for city council for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason. And that's my 2 cents, and I'll keep putting it in. Also, too, tonight, we had a district meeting, District 6 meeting at Banks Park. The weather's going to be bad, so we're going to cancel that until next month. I'm sorry, but I'd rather everybody be home safe. Just come down there this month. And I'll be looking forward to seeing everybody next month down there. That's all I got.
That's enough.
Hey, I got plenty more if you want me to keep continuing. I can keep on.
I tell you what, if all of us are going to be, give a political speech every day from now on, I may not come every day.
That'd be good. That'd be good. I'd be in the president's seat and I can talk a little more.
This is not for political
Well,
speeches.
This is not a political, I'm just telling the way it is.
well, anyway. Mr. President, and to the public, I noticed, if you all been noticing the camera guy walking around, which is unusual, taking pictures and recording. This is a group from Denmark. They're here in the city doing a documentary, and I'm part of the documentary. They're dealing with 50 years after the Civil Rights Movement, the March on Washington, talking about civil rights, segregation, and the whole 9 yards. So they're going to be here in the South for about a week or so, doing recording and talking to folks. So that's why he's walking around, and that's why he's up here taking. But he also requested, because they were late getting back in, he missed the Pledge of Allegiance. And I think that would be something he wants us to redo, if that's okay with you all. I think it would, for the purpose of Denmark, I think they want to know that people over here do pledge allegiance to the flag, and they're dedicated to that. And I don't think we would have an objection to doing it again for them to put it on film. I don't think, would you? Okay. So we will do it at the end.
Well, Billy erased it from his hand, so we might want to give him some accommodations.
Oh, okay.
Somebody got to give me another piece of paper.
Give you another piece of paper with it on there. I do have a couple announcements. This is First Saturday coming up out at Carver. I was asked to let everybody know about First Saturday, and they're emphasizing bringing the children out. They're going to do the old-fashioned, the maypole, what is it called, wrapping?
Maypole. Wrapping the maypole.
Yeah, wrapping the maypole. I knew it was the maypole, but I couldn't think of what they do. They're going to do wrapping the maypole, they're going to have a sack race, and a number of other good things that'll be going on out at the Carver Community Center this Saturday. I think they get started at 1 o'clock, and so they're asking everybody to come out and enjoy themselves, have a great time. If you have goods you want to sell, you can come and set up. There's no charge for vendors. I know the last two First Saturdays, they've had a tremendous crowd out. So they're asking everybody now to bring the children out so they can do the old-fashioned wrapping the maypole. So we're excited about that this coming Saturday. A lot of things going on this Saturday because this is the race weekend too, isn't it?
Talladega.
At Talladega. I noticed he was talking about the run up on the falls and everything. And so hopefully we'll have, I'm sorry.
First Friday.
First Friday, and Kay is not here to talk about it.
Did last week.
I know she talked about it last week.
That's a first, really.
Huh?
She talked about it last.
Yeah, she talked about it last week, but do anybody know who's going to be performing Friday night?
At the free concert, it's Robert Moore and the Rhythm Aces.
Yeah, Bobby Moore and the
Bobby
Rhythm
Moore,
Aces,
yeah.
that's right. I knew that's why it was important, because
Yeah.
that's a group that was around when I was,
If you're over 40, you'll know them real well.
oh, I'm sorry.
they're
I don't-
really good.
I don't know them, you got to be over 40. That's a different group.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they are
They're
really, that is a real good group. Bobby Moore and the Rhythm Aces, I just thought about that. But again, we really appreciate the young men who are here and doing the documentary, so just wanted to let everybody know why these guys were walking around. That's it.
I would like to thank everyone that came out in District 5 last Saturday. We had a spring cleanup, picked up a lot of trash and cleaned up our district somewhat. I want to thank Mike Hilton and Public Works for their assistance, and Glenda Jackson, who worked real hard to coordinate that. So anyway, last Saturday, we picked up a lot of trash along the streets, and I would like to just plead with everybody. I can't understand the mindset that someone would trash the city they live in. Why would you do that? Keep that trash in your car, you get home, put it in the garbage can. There's no, that's not much to ask. So please, don't litter, for goodness sakes. And if you get out and pick that up, it really hits home that, my gosh, how can people have that kind of mindset that would trash their own city? That's all I have to say.
Mayor.
Just on the cleanup day that'll be coming up, we'll have the trucks at the rec centers like we have before. We've had the citywide cleanup, and we appreciate the Runners Club and helping promote the falls. It just seems like every couple of months it's bigger and better, and we want to keep trying to do all we can to get people out where they can get a little exercise and enjoy the Knockaloo Falls. It's sort of like a well-kept secret still. But I was going to ask Ben, now the winning team was 16 under, is that correct? Don't they all work in Public Works?
Past this point, I deny any knowledge.
I believe they may be playing too much golf.
I just say they don't work there anymore.
Mayor, I will say one thing. They didn't even stick around for the presentation because they heard that bad weather and Daddy, they took off.
Yeah, no,
And
I'm just joking. They raised a lot of money for a good cause, and really, there's a lot of nonprofit events that go on. I mean, a lot of the buildings we have stays rented all the time, and it's for it's nonprofits, and the money's always go to a good cause, and we appreciate the people stepping up and help support a lot of these nonprofits who need help.
Well, Mayor, you want to make sure that those guys either got a good pencil or another job.
Yeah.
16 under, that's kind of...
I wish now I hadn't even brought it up.
I know.
Well, they'll be glad, Ben. They got the name on
I'm not
on
worried
the
about
air.
that. They did a good job, both ways.
As soon as we get through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Chad, how'd y'all come in?
Due to the
13th?
Due to the Alabama League convention next week, The council will not meet on May the 6th. The next regular scheduled council meeting will be on May the 13th. I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn.
So moved.
We're gonna do-